Hello everyone, welcome back to new lesson. In this video we learn about the cellular adaptations. So generally when the body cells are exposed to injurious agents or when the cell undergo any stress, the cell may adapt to the changes which are expressed morphologically and which then revert back to the normal after the stress is removed. And if the stress is more injurious, if there is a more injurious stimuli, the cell undergo cell injury. So these are two types of injury, that is reversible and irreversible. If there is a mild to transient injury, it undergo irreversible injury and then it can revert back to the normal cell. But if the stress is more severe and more progressive, it undergo irreversible injury, that is cell death. So the persistent and severe form of cell injury may cause cell death. It is of two types, necrosis and the apoptosis. So in this video we learn only about the cellular adaptations. So cellular adaptations are thus the adjustments which the cell make in response to stresses which may be for physiologic needs or pathologic injury. Let's see in detail about adaptations. And now the adaptations are atrophy, it is the decrease in the cell size, and hypertrophy, it is the increase in the size of the cell, and hyperplasia, there is an increase in the number of cells. Metaplasia is the transformation of the cell into other form, and dysplasia means a bad development of the cell. These are the different cellular adaptations. In this video we learn only about the atrophy. So atrophy means, as we have discussed, it is the reduction in the size of an organ. So reduction of number and the size of an organ or tissue due to decrease in the cell size and the number. The causes of atrophy may be occur from physiologic or pathologic. In the normal physiology also there is a atrophy of the organ, and in the pathologic causes also there is a atrophy. Let's see what are they. So first physiologic atrophy is notochord and thyroglossal duct undergo atrophy during fetal development. In the fetal development, the thyroid gland is developed from the thyroglossal duct and it slowly disappears after growing. This is the example of the one physiologic atrophy. And atrophy of thymus in the adult life, and also atrophy of gonads after the menopause, and atrophy of brain with aging, osteoporosis with the reduction in the size of bony tubercle due to aging. These are the physiologic atrophy. So next, pathologic atrophy, it includes the following causes. The first is a starvation atrophy. In the starvation, there is first depletion of carbohydrates and fat stores followed by protein catabolism. This results in the weakness, emaciation and anemia. Next, ischemic atrophy, diminished blood supply. A gradual decrease in the blood supply to a tissues as a result of slowly developing arterial occlusive diseases resulting in the atrophy of the tissues. Examples like atrophy of a kidney in the atherosclerosis of renal artery and atrophy of a brain in the cerebral atherosclerosis. This is the figure showing atrophy of the brain. This is the normal brain. Due to cerebral atherosclerosis, there is a ischemic atrophy. And next is a diffuse atrophy. Diffuse atrophy is due to the decreased workload. When the fractured bone is immobilized in the plaster cast, or when a patient is restricted to the complete bed rest, the skeletal muscle atrophy rapidly ensues. The initial decrease in the cell size is reversible once activity is resumed. But with more prolonged disuse, skeletal muscle fibers decrease in number as well as in size. Muscle atrophy can be accompanied by increased bone resorption leading to osteoporosis of tissues. And other example is atrophy of the pancreas in obstruction of pancreatic duct. Next is a neuropathic atrophy. That is the loss of innervation. The normal metabolism and the functions of skeletal muscle are dependent on its nerve supply. Damage to the nerves leads to atrophy of the muscle fibers supplied by those nerves. The examples are motor neuron diseases and in the poliomyelitis. And next is the endocrine atrophy, that is loss of endocrine regulation. So many organs depend on the endocrine stimulation for normal metabolism and functions. The loss of the hormones leads to atrophy of the related organ. Next, pressure atrophy. Prolonged pressure from the benign tubers can cause atrophy in the surrounding tissues, like for example erosion of the spine by tumor in the nerve root. Here this is the erosion of the spine, and erosion of the skull by meningioma. Let's see the morphologic features. How the cell is, how the atrophy of the cell is. The organ is small, often shrunken, and the cell becomes smaller in size but not dead. And the shrinkage in the cell is due to reduction in the cell organelles, especially mitochondria, myofilaments, and endoplasmic reticulum. And this atrophy results from the decreased protein synthesis and increased protein degradation and in the cell because of reduced metabolic activity. Atrophy can also accompanied by the increased autophagy, that means increase in the self-eating cells. Autophagy is the self-eating. This atrophy is also accompanied with the self-eating. This is the process in which the starved cells eat its own components in an attempt to reduce the nutrient demand. So this is about the atrophy.